What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, today is a massive day for the future of the Call of Duty franchise. And also, if you are a huge fan of Treyarch as a development team for Call of Duty, then I think you're really going to enjoy the information that I have for you guys in today's video. Now, for those who don't know already, 2023, we are completely skipping a year of Call of Duty. The first time that we have ever seen in the whole Call of Duty franchise, because as we know, Call of Duty releases every single year. 2023 is going to be the first time that we actually going to break that cycle. And if you haven't checked out my video from the other day, I highly suggest doing so. Basically, how they're going to be handling this is they're going to go ahead and remaster all of Modern Warfare 2's content and release it in kind of a year 2 format for Modern Warfare 2 when 2023 comes around. But what about the next Call of Duty game? How are they going to be handling that? Well, apparently, over on Twitter, the Ghost of Hope, a very reliable leaker, put out a post saying COD 2024's campaign will cover Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom as well. Basically, for those who don't know the time period that this is going to be taking place in, it's going to be the 1990s and the early 2000s era. Now, the reason this is such massive news, in my personal opinion, there are a lot of other opinions as well, which I will be discussing later in the video, but the biggest thing that I want to touch upon is Treyarch finally, for the first time ever, is entering a modern day game. Yes, I have been simply begging for this for ages now, because we've never seen one from Treyarch. We've only seen the Black Ops, Black Ops 1, which was Vietnam/Cold War. They've made World at War, one of the best World War II shooters ever made. They made, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, futuristic games. Black Ops 2, near futuristic, not really close to modern day. I would say that was definitely way more near futuristic than anything else. They have never actually touched upon a modern day game. It's always been Infinity Ward. Infinity Ward has always taken that time period. Whether it's Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, even Ghost, even though that's like partially near futuristic, but it was much more grounded than Black Ops 2 was. Infinite Warfare was probably the furthest out there of an Infinity Ward game that I've ever seen. But when it comes to modern day, Treyarch just simply does not dabble in that time period. Now, obviously, times are moving on, and the 1990s and early 2000s is no longer considered modern day, right? Modern day has evolved. A lot of the things that we thought were near futuristic are now modern in our time period. But compared to everything else that Treyarch has put together, this is definitely considered modern day in my personal opinion. And also, let's be real here, all the technology, the weaponry and stuff like that during that time period, I think we can all settle on the idea that this is going to be a modern day style video game. Modern technology, modern vehicles. Even though technology and vehicles have advanced a little bit and, we are seeing more high-tech stuff, I can still look at the stuff that's going to be presented within this game, and it still feels grounded to me. Now, I do gotta say, I am extremely shocked. Even though the leaks have been pushing further and further away from Treyarch taking a near futuristic approach, I still think a lot of people were still pretty, set in their mindset that they're going to get a Black Ops 2 remaster type game, right? Something near futuristic, something that, everybody's going to love, everybody's going to be excited about, because don't get me wrong, Black Ops 2 is one of the most overhyped games I think I've ever seen in the Call of Duty franchise. And of course, it's a fun game. I enjoyed it, but it was definitely hyped to all hell. That game was turned the absolute F up. So, I think a lot of people were expecting them, since that's how the original trilogy of Black Ops kind of panned out, and it started off with Call of Duty Black Ops, then it went to Black Ops 2, then it went to Black Ops 3. So I think everybody was in the mindset that was going to take the exact same path. But now it seems that Treyarch is mixing it up a little bit, man. They're trying to spice up their formula. They're not going to pull a Infinity Ward and just copy all the OG games with how they're doing here. Call of Duty Modern Warfare and then Modern Warfare 2, like we haven't seen those titles before. Looks like Treyarch is actually trying to keep things fresh, and I respect that. They're not jumping straight to Black Ops 2. They're going to try to expand on the universe that they already created, and this time period is a perfect time period to keep the story going from Black Ops, Black Ops Cold War that they just got done producing. Also, this is going to be the first time that we ever see this time period with Call of Duty in general. Scratch Treyarch bringing in a modern day title for their first time ever creating a game like that. But this is the first time that we're actually seeing the Call of Duty franchise as a whole take on a different style of war. We've all been sitting here, pondering, thinking of different types of concepts that Call of Duty would branch out to. I've seen so many different types of wars being brought up in the community, which would have worked, tremendously. It would have been awesome to see. But we always get the same thing, right? We either get a modern day game by Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer either pulls out a World War II title, or they pull out something neo-futuristic like Advanced Warfare, and Treyarch always does the same thing as well. They either have their old school games like World at War, which they haven't made a World War II game in ages, so I can't say they always make World War II games because they don't. But they made, you know, multiple different Cold War / Vietnam War era games. They made so many type of near-futuristic games, or just straight-up futuristic games. So we've seen the same stuff over and over and over again. I think that's one of the main reasons why everybody thought it was going to be Black Ops 2, because we didn't expect Call of Duty to take any different turns. We didn't expect them to try to cover any different types of wars. We just expected them to do, you know, what they do best, copy and paste time periods, and just change up stories partially and nostalgia bait people. But taking this approach is fantastic because it'll bring something fresh to the table. It'll make Call of Duty feel unique again, instead of seeing something that we've already seen before. A lot of people are going to be introduced into Call of Duty franchise seeing something fresh, and that's fantastic because that's how we all came into the franchise, at least a good chunk of us. You know, when I came into Call of Duty, I came in when modern day was, you know, the wave, and World War II was the wave. Back in the OG days of Call of Duty 2, the big red one, and Call of Duty 4, their very first modern day game, you know, it blew us away because every single Call of Duty game was World War II. Call of Duty 1 through 3, and then, you know, like I said, the off, you know, brand ones, like Call of Duty 2, the big red one, stuff like that. Everything was World War II, and then Call of Duty 4 drops, and it blows everybody back because nobody expected them to branch off from their time periods, right? They all thought we were just going to stick with World War II. They said, hell no, we're going to switch it up. We're taking you to modern day. And then we got, you know, Vietnam Cold War, and then we got, you know, near futuristic with Black Ops 2. Everything was fresh back in the day. We lost that touch, you know, we lost that spark that we used to always love when we reintroduced ourselves back into a brand new Call of Duty title. It's not there anymore. Like I said, all they do is nostalgia bait. So taking up a new time period that we've never seen before, I think personally is going to be extremely healthy for the overall franchise. And even though at the end of the day, it's still modern day, so it's not technically a new time period, it's still modern day like we've seen time and time and time again. At the end of the day, it's a different war that we've never seen in the Call of Duty universe. That's what's new about it. Not the time period, it's the war itself, you know. All of these Call of Duty games are modern day are usually made up, you know, scenarios, made up concepts, made up wars, made up storylines, you know, with tiny things here and there maybe resembling real world events, but at the end of the day, you know, it's all pretty much fictional when it comes to Call of Duty. Treyarch, something that they do so well is really telling the life events of these wars. You know, they're very good when it comes to making their titles historically correct. I mean, World at War, like I say all the time, still to this date, is one of the, if not the best World War II game I've ever played. It crosses off so many different sections of World War II that so many different games just completely choose to ignore. It hands down is the best World War II experience out there. Black Ops 1 is phenomenal when it comes to telling stories. You know, Black Ops 2 was great, even though that's fictional still. But at the end of the day, Treyarch does a phenomenal job. So to see them take a real-life event, a modern-day real-life event, and introduce it into the Call of Duty franchise, I think if anybody is to do that, it's Treyarch. And also, this time period and this war is extremely controversial, and let's be real here, that's what Call of Duty is literally all about. It lives, it thrives on doing the out-of-the-box type deal. You know, it likes to get things sparked up in the media. It likes news sources bringing it in and giving it a bunch of chatter, ranting off about how this game is unacceptable for the public. That's what Call of Duty is all about. And this war, this time period right here, is all about that. I mean, for the love of God, this is the time period of 9/11. I mean, really, sit down and think, how are they going to actually be able to portray this? Are they going to legitimately portray this as a live event? Are they going to portray it as you sitting back watching on the television screen? Like, how are they going to go about this? I don't know about you guys, but I've seen Treyarch and Infinity Ward do some really nutty, crazy, insane crap within their titles. I would not be shocked if they push this war to its fullest extent. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have to really say about this whole deal here. I'm extremely excited. I really am. I never thought I'd ever see Treyarch go to a modern day time period for a game. And again, you got to keep in mind, these are still leaks. This is early information, and we are 2 whole years away from even noticing what this game is going to be like. We haven't even gotten Modern Warfare 2 in our hands yet. So everything in the world is subject to change. But I really hope that this sticks right here, because this would be the most fascinating thing I think we would seen out of the Call of Duty franchise in years. I mean, I'm talking about years. I mean, back, like, I would say Modern Warfare 3 or Black Ops 2 was the last time that we've been this creative within Call of Duty. So I'm extremely excited to see if Treyarch can nail this. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. Bums I hate it, leave a dislike. Also, for brand new, enjoy the content, subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, want to chat with us, do so, Twitter and Discord, both linked down in the description. And also want to catch me live streams of video games over on Twitch, link that's in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.